don't know. I don't know what I want to build. I don't know how I want to build it. All I know is I've got some models. I just want to get through. Oh God! Ow! Ah! Let's just have a chat. What's going on, guys? Welcome back. And that model that you're struggling to finish, it's looking good. It's gonna be great. I'm watching you. So anyway, today I want to talk about inspiration. What do I look for when I'm making a diorama? And what should you be looking for when building diorama? And I have to tell you, inspiration can come from anywhere. Doesn't matter whether you're driving your car, like here for instance. I've had some pretty good ideas in the car. Driving to work, driving for fuel, driving for food, driving for... Oh, that looks cool. Doesn't matter whether you're out for a walk in the great unknown, the outside place, the... out there. But it can come at any point, and I've had certain moments where dioramas that you've seen on this channel, I've been mid-conversation with someone and spotted something and gone, oh, I could do something with that. It just, I don't know, sometimes it pops me. Other times I will be sat watching YouTube channels, or I'll be flicking through Instagram or TikTok. Anyway guys, let's get on with the video and let's see where this inspiration takes us. So I have spoken about this diorama on the channel before. This is the very first diorama. This pretty much is the diorama that made me make this channel. I posted it onto Reddit. It got really well received and it just inspired and pushed me to keep going. But what made me build it in the first place? Well, honestly, it was the 9th edition trailer. Watching those poor Cadians getting, well, evaporated, basically. Sort of made me go, I'd love to be able to show that on the tabletop and envision it as like a playable diorama, or just a diorama that I could have for me. And I took a couple of photos of it, and you know, it went up and it did really well. Now, there are obviously some flaws in the diorama. You can see that some of the basing's not quite done very well or very nicely. There's some gaps, there's some areas of improvement, but for a first diorama, ain't too bad, is it? I think that was pretty impressive. That's just my my opinion anyway, and this is my channel, so that's what you're getting, my opinion. But this diorama did teach me that using DAS air dry clay, it's a step forward. It's something that was usable to me and something that I could create with. So that's a plus. That's what I learned. I learned from this that DAS air dry clay is a great basing tool to use, and that I have got it in me to make dioramas. So that's what I took away from that. That's those 2 points. So on to the next one. Let's see what I learned there. So this is the first one that we did on the channel together, and it's one of my favourite. I know it's one of the smaller ones, and you probably wouldn't think it's my favourite, but it is. Because it was our first that we built together, and also it all came from a comment on Reddit where someone said to me that they'd like to see a medical scene, and for that I wanted to do something similar to that opening scene from Saving Private Ryan when they're running up the beach and the medics are going into absolute overtime. And this is also as well when I started realising that emotion is a powerful thing that can also be portrayed into dioramas and our miniature hobby as a total and as a whole. So that's what I wanted you guys to get from this. I wanted you to get a little bit of that sorrowful feeling, or slightly panicky feeling, you know, of he needs to get this guy up and going and on his feet Otherwise, he's gonna join the pile of skulls or the skeletons around him. Well, I can't exactly remember what my inspiration for building this one was, but my god, it was a lot of fun. Every now and then, you just got to do something that makes you happy. And I tell you what, this diorama still makes me happy every time. I have it sat right in front of my desk at all times, and if I'm ever feeling a little bit doomy and gloomy, I just pick it up and have a look. I just love it. So yeah, like for this one, just have a bit of fun. It doesn't have to be serious, it doesn't have to be grimdark. Sometimes it just has to be what makes you smile. So I'm a pretty big fan, and I would say, I guess you could say, advocate for owning your own mistakes. And I have made hundreds, if not thousands of them. I usually make at least 1 to 2, 3, 4, 5 mistakes per build that I do. And something that I used to do was rush, because I was new to YouTube, and I just get excited because I want to show you guys the cool thing that I've made. And I would rush, and sometimes things would still be drying, like the clay or the what's the other stuff, the sculptor mold. That's the words. Some of that stuff would still be drying whilst I'm painting it, and that has caused some issues with the results of it later down the line, where when it's finished curing, parts of the board have bent up, or the paint has cracked, and you can then see the air dry clay or the sculptor molds underneath it. And that's happened on probably 2 of my bigger dioramas that I've done. So just another thing to be aware of, and another thing to learn. I never do an inspiration, but you know, learning is a big part of, you know, having these inspirations, so we don't make mistakes like this. Which you may have noticed that my channel has slowed down a lot now recently. It's more as I'm getting more comfortable, I'm getting more happier doing larger edits and making better videos and better quality videos for you guys. So I'm also trying to not rush my projects through, just to be like, hey, here's the cool thing. Oh, by the way, later on. So this is a mistake that you wouldn't have seen and you wouldn't have known of if I hadn't decided to tell you, but I am going to tell you, and I've shown you here. So yeah, just be aware of that. Dry times, just let things dry. You can't rush these things. Let them play their course. So, who are the ones to watch, and why am I telling you to watch them? Well, there's a couple of people that I, along the way, have noticed, and I've taken some great inspiration from them. I've reached out to a couple of other creators for this, and I had mixed responses. Some people didn't reply, some people said no, and some people were incredibly lovely about it. So I want to talk about them now. And one of them is a TikTok creator called letsmakeitorkie. Now, she does lots of random other stuff, and I will give you a little display of that in a moment. But she did a diorama recently of an angel, and I see it as a fallen angel because it is a truly powerful little piece that shows this angel sat in this beautiful surrounding, and he just looks very sad. I don't know whether he's lost someone, or he's looking for someone, or there's someone out there that doesn't quite know he exists. and he's in deep contemplation, and I think that's lovely. But that's my perspective on it, and you might see it and have a totally different perspective, because that's another thing that I love about dioramas, is that it doesn't matter what I think, it's what you see, what you visually get from looking at the piece and the enjoyment that you get from seeing it. And that's what I truly love about dioramas. And then there's another creator that I reached out to, which I really did hope he was going to reply, because you know, I see him as a friend these days, because we talk all the time. And he's from well, up north a little bit. So this is his treehouse build that I'm on about. I suppose I'm being a bit tongue-in-cheek. It's cat scratch. No, he's doing this really cool little build at the moment, where he's taking a tree or branch and he's turning it into a piece of terrain. Now, I've been saying this for a little while now. Terrain isn't too far from dioramas. If you can make a piece of terrain, you can make a diorama. All you got to do is just add models without the bases, and which you are going to see in the near future, add magnets to your models and try and do it. Because the reason I'm doing this one, I'm not building anything, is because I'm waiting to build a diorama, but the box set hasn't arrived yet. I've got quite a cool idea for the Horus Heresy box, so I need to get my hands on that one, and I'm going to be doing everything I can to get my hands on it. Beg, borrow, steal, whatever. I'm after one. So you know, just give me a chance to try and get it. For that, I can take a lot of information from what Wolfen says and from what Wolfen does on his channel, and I can throw it into my dioramas. So when he does a cool little build, that does sort of go, oh, I could do something with that. And the same with Let's Make It Orkie and other creators that are out there. I see what they do, and I go, ooh, I like that. I'm gonna nick this bit, and I'm gonna change it for my own needs to create the next diorama. So anyway, guys, I really hope that you can take something away from this, and just know that you don't have to just look at my channel or similar diorama channels that are in the Warhammer sphere. Look elsewhere. There's some guys that do some really cool World War II dioramas, or World War I. They do some futuristic ones. They do like old school, like back in like the 1700s. Even like ship builders, model train enthusiasts. All these different people are great sources of information that you might not be using. And if you aren't, I suggest you give them a try. But just remember, inspiration can come to you at any point. So that's where I get a lot of my inspiration from, and that's how my brain perceives it and sees it. So I hope that helps you, because I know a lot of you guys leave comments saying, oh, that you've really inspired me to do X, Y, or Z. And I want to continue doing that, certainly. But I just want you to know that there are really great resources out there and all around us at all times when we don't least expect it as well, where you can get some fantastic inspiration. So I'm going to leave it there for this one. Thank you guys for watching. If you've enjoyed, I'm going to pin another video somewhere around here. Like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I will see you in the next one.